What's going on YouTube? This is Casey coming back to you guys for another financial video nugget. If you haven't already, please check out my last video. I want to thank all of you guys who did take the opportunity to watch it. I received a lot of great positive feedback for that, and thank you guys so much for the positive feedback on it. So on this video, I want to talk to you guys about one of the most important topics that I know every single American can relate to, and that is debt. We all have it, whether it's loans, whether it's student loans, auto loans, credit cards, personal loans, retail cards, home loans, it doesn't matter. We got loans. As you guys can take a look here, the total consumer debt balance, the majority of our loans are home loans, which isn't surprising because you typically borrow $200,000. So this is kind of an outlier. But the loans that I really want to focus on, and I guess home loans to a degree, but mostly are the auto loans and the credit cards and personal loans and the retails. These are the ones that I call these the self-inflicted loans. Sure, it's possible to get into a home loan over your head, and you got a huge mortgage payment, but these are the paper cuts I call them. These are the ones that next thing you know, you get a $10,000 credit card, you racked up the credit card debt, you maxed it out, you're making minimum payments, you got another credit card, and next thing you know, you just don't know what to do on it. So this video is going to help give you guys a lot of insight into the quickest way to get a grasp on your finances, the quickest way to pay off debt, and some of the tips and tricks that you can do to actually kind of have navigate the waters a little bit sooner. So again, I just want to make sure that I'm very clear to you guys that every single thing that I tell you that to do, it's things that I've personally done. All of my videos are based purely on things that I truly believe in. I'm not just selling you guys information just to be talking about it. I mean, I put time of research into this. It's things that have been proven and that have shown to get people out of debt, no matter what your circumstances are, relatively quickly, depending on where you are in the debt snowball effect. But if you follow these rules and you follow these steps, you absolutely will get out of debt, and you will be on a definitive, clear layout path. And trust me, you will see the results. But first and foremost, it's very important that you understand that no matter what tools are out there, no matter what tool you use, no matter what calculations you use or anything like that, if you're not mentally prepared in order to get out of debt, nothing else matters. So whether no spreadsheets, no calculations, no debt snowballs, no, none of that stuff matters if you're not mentally prepared to do what's necessary. And the worse that you are in debt relative to your income and your expenses, the more aggressive you're going to have to be, and the more fed up you're going to need to be, and the more resilient in order to get out of debt. So it really is a personal, individual basis. But no matter what your individual circumstances are, this by far is going to be the best information you guys can get out of debt. So if you've gotten with me this far, thank you for doing that, and let's kind of get into it. So the first thing is obviously you're mentally prepared. So that's the great part. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is you want to take a look and you want to do a spreadsheet of all of your expenses. I mean your total financial situation. Now, it doesn't need to be complex. If you look online, there's a lot of different spreadsheets that give you, these complex algorithms and layout and monthly payments and interest that you're paying on a daily or monthly or annual basis. I like to do. I'm a firm believer in the method in life. Keep it simple, stupid. We have enough complexity in life now with credit card interest rates and everything else hitting us, to where we're trying to keep things simple so that we can get a control on things. So the more complex the solutions are, the less likely it's going to help. So, do a spreadsheet of all of your expenses. And this is an example spreadsheet that I've created that I've actually used in the past. And it works wonders for me because it lays it all out there. You get a very clear financial picture of where you are. So this is absolutely baby step number one, no matter where you are on the financial totem pole. You do a tab of your monthly expenses, and monthly expenses should be all of your expenses that are not considered debt. So, I mean, this is just I call this the mandatory expenses. Your rent, your lights, your food, Netflix. Just kidding. Netflix isn't mandatory, but maybe it is to some people. Your gas, that could gas meaning for your car gas. Or it could also mean for your gas bill. Your car insurance, your renter's insurance, HOA insurance, all of your recurring monthly expenses that are not debt related. Any subscriptions, your cell phone bill. I mean, literally all of your expenses that are not debt. Take those over there, put those in one category. Put the amount over here in this category, And what you want to do is once you've added up all those numbers, you're going to take this line over here, and then you're going to add them up via calculator. Don't use that line because it's going to thinking we should put something in there. But however you want to do it, do the line over here. Okay, as you can see, I'm not an Excel expert, but put a line there, and put the total up down this way. Okay, I don't know, I'm just making up a number. I don't know. 4,000, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm not gonna put in specific numbers to the top, but you get the idea, right? And then over here, you put your debt. Your debt is going to be I mean, it's literally self-explanatory debt. I did write up some numbers just to give you an example. So your car payments, if you have more than one car payment, put them both there. Your credit cards, and if you got four, five, six credit cards, you put them all here. Student loans, named a student loan, two and three, put them all here. And the point is to just get a clear understanding. So this is my mandatory, or this is like my non-debt expenses. This is my debt expenses, and then the MMP, that's my acronym. Yeah, don't steal it. It's the minimum monthly payment. I know, very creative. And then over here is your monthly income, and then with OT. Now, if you're like me, I'm actually a contractor, and so I'm hourly based, and most contracts don't allow extra hours. But if you're in like the service industry or something like that, sometimes a lot of places do allow overtime. So what I like to do is I like to put in the monthly income. Let's say if you're making, I don't know, 3,900, 3945, 72 monthly income, and then with overtime, let's say you get an extra, I don't know, $400. I don't know. And let's just say on average, right? So obviously, okay, that wouldn't work because then we'd be way upside down, which was why you'd be watching this video. But just for the sake of this video, let's just pick a bigger number so we don't make it too hard on ourselves. All right. So then you bring the number down here, so then you know how much your monthly income is, and then you do your minimum monthly payments, and then you take the your total amount here, you take your minimum total monthly payment amount here, and then you're going to take those two numbers, bring them down over here into a column. It doesn't matter which one, um, and then that's going to show you how much you know extra income you have in expenses. Okay, so I'm making up a number here, so just the I'm sure some of you guys probably like if I actually put the numbers out, but this is going to give you the idea because obviously everyone's is different. So so then you go over here, and then with that, it's going to show you that you have a remaining balance of what is that, 64.54. Just post a quick calculator, and again, I'm just giving you an example of what to do. Okay, so it's okay, cool. So that means so now you know that you have, on average, if nothing else, nothing special, 630.84 remaining. Okay, now where you want to put that on the what do you call it? Where you want to put this 613.18 remaining, you can put it to the right in the middle. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna land it out here just so you can get a clear picture. Okay. So you have 613.18 remaining. All right, so this tells you how much passive income and passive, I'm sorry, how much remaining income you have in reserves a month. All right, I mean, this is the first step you want to do. Right? You got everything laid out to your left. You know how much your expenses are, you know how much your debt is, you know how much your minimum monthly payments are, and then you have your monthly income. Boom, there you go. All right. Next thing you want to do is you want to go over to the monthly expense area and you want to cut out everything that you absolutely don't need or you want to negotiate things. So, for example, let's say you have a four-person line, you're paying $184.76, right? Well, that's obviously that's an expensive cell phone bill. Maybe you need to contact your cell phone company and looking at cutting down, uh, you know, you know, um, cutting down your plan or maybe switching over to a different provider. Same thing goes for your renter's insurance. Maybe you need to check your renter's insurance and you're paying, I don't know, making up a number. Let's say you're paying $39 a month, right? Well, maybe you contact around, you can save yourself, $15, $16. Car insurance is a big one. Uh, I don't know, depending on what your driving record is, maybe you've been paying $165 a month. I don't mean, and there's a plan out there that'll get you, $97, $120 a month. Gas you really can't do much about because most of the time it comes down to a commute factor. Um, so that's not really a factor. I don't know about y'all, but I personally think the Netflix is mandatory, so I wouldn't recommend cutting that out. I'm just kidding. Semi kidding. Food, food is food is relative. Making up a number. Everyone's obviously going to be different based on your family household and electricity. You know, boom, 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 and then rent slash mortgage. That could be, I don't know, just make up a number. 1350. All right. So obviously these numbers aren't going to match up exactly. I'd have to go through and add them all up, but you get the gist of it, right? But the point is to cut down all of your expenses, everything that's not necessary. I mean, this is what companies do. Companies have millions and billions of dollars. They know exactly what's coming in, they know what's going out, and that's the plan. So and then you want to go over here and you want to negotiate the cell phone bill, and then once you get that, you want to go over here and you want to update your change. Oh, wow. Okay, I contacted T-Mobile Verizon. They're going to give me a good deal because they've been a low customer. Sweet. All right, and you take that number, bring it on down. I said then that way you have an idea of exactly how much money you're saving over here. All right, and just do that for every single expense. That in itself can and will save you hundreds of dollars a month. A lot of people don't look at the monthly expenses they're paying. Maybe you got Netflix or Hulu or some other service subscription you've been paying for. I don't know, education expense service. I don't know, whatever it is, and you don't need it. Cut it out, remove it. Car insurance, negotiate it, renter's insurance, cell phone, all of that good stuff. Your internet bill, you know, internet, same deal. Contact them, see if we can get you a package, right? So attack your monthly expenses, negotiate those things down, hit them. Over here in the debt section, what you want to do once you have the minimum monthly payments, and again, I don't know, car payment, I don't know, I'm making up a number. So again, all of these are fictional. Don't, if they don't quite look right, don't fret. The gist of it still stays the same. Okay, so you got some numbers over here. Um, okay, you got some numbers over here, and let's just say this one is, I don't know. Okay, so over here, you got a few options. You want to take a look at your interest rates for all these for all of your loans. Okay, so based on your loans, actually, I probably should even put another category over here based on interest rate. Okay, because one of the big the debt snowball philosophies that I know that I like to say like Dave Ramsey uses is to attack the balances that are the smallest first. Okay, that's going to be really really big. Is to attack the biggest excuse me the balances that are smallest first. And let's say you have I don't know. Let's just use an example. Credit card over here, and you got $3,700. Okay, and more than likely interest rate's going to be something ridiculous. I don't know, 19.99%. I don't know, something ridiculous. And let's say your student loan is 7.99, and I mean you get the gist of it. But so what you want to do is you know how much money you have remaining left over here. You know what your minimum payments are, what they would be. Okay, and let's say your minimum payment is $67. All right, so the plan here is to take this money and to put as much of it towards your smallest amount first. Okay, to get that paid off. Now, the thing with this is depending on who you ask, you recommend that you have at least, I would say, they say 6 months reserve. I say at least $1,000 in your savings just to be safe. All right, $1,000 in your savings to be safe. You should definitely do it. You can easily take a couple $100, put that into your savings, and then take the rest and hit this credit card. So you keep making minimum payments and everything else. You take extra payments and you knock this puppy off. And then what you do is the extra payments that you were making to pay this off, you then take your next one, all right, which would be your, let's say, your other credit card, all right, and you take that and you start hitting that $300, $200, 250, 250. If you're over here and you got some extra overtime and this is what you're getting, you take that overtime and you literally hit it all with your credit card. That's what you do. And when you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to pay off your credit cards a lot smaller, excuse me, a lot faster than if you had actually, try to split up those payments with the other debts. Okay, so that's a really really good way to go about attacking it. You've gone over here, you've hit your monthly expenses, you've deduced those a lot. You've gone over here, you have taken your smallest payments, and you're going to reduce the interest rate. Excuse me, reduce the balance by taking the extra snowball payments, and then you're going to take those payments, you can apply those towards the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Um, that's how you do it. Now, if you're one of those people who, when they come over here and they have a remaining balance and it says, I don't know, let's say you're negative $298 a month, right? Because a lot of people are in that situation. I mean, they're in the negative, right? Because you don't have enough money. But then it's even more imperative that when you're over here, you got to get more aggressive, right? And obviously this can apply even if you're not in the negative. It really all comes down to just how the same rules apply. Car payment. If anyone, and I mean, if you're serious about a debt snowball and you're in a really tight financial situation, again, it's all relative to your situation. But if you're really super tight, like paycheck to paycheck, your car note, your car payment should be a very affordable car. So if you are driving a car that is worth more than I don't know, 15, 20, $25,000, my personal opinion, you should probably be getting a cheaper car. You should never be buying new, personal opinion. If you have a family of three or four, you can get you a nice car for $15,000, a nice Mazda CX-9 or something. No luxury cars, no Lexuses, no Mercedes, no BMWs. I mean that living above your means is just absolutely ridiculous. So you have to take those cars and just flat out get rid of them because this is the number one debt killer in America, wealth killer in America, are car payments. Our society encourages them. We use them as status symbols. We see people driving around in nice, fancy, shiny cars. We see the Joneses next door have these nice, fancy, shiny cars. They must have all this money. Why don't I have a nicer car? I work just as hard as they do, if not harder. And that's the quickest way. I promise you. Those Joneses next door, they need this spreadsheet too. It's just they haven't gotten to my site yet to look at it, to know what they need, for them to fill it out, but you do. So um, that's how you do it. You get rid of the car payments. You cut off all the unnecessary expenses. And then another thing that you want to also do is you want to ask yourself, and I left this one out, but it's very important. Your erroneous expenditures, meaning how much do you actually spend out on fast food, eating out? Eating out is a major wealth killer. And if you're really paycheck to paycheck, under no circumstances should you be eating out. Now, maybe if you're with the family and you want to maybe treat yourself, one time a week towards the weekend or Friday or something like that because you worked really hard and the kids have, they're doing good in school. Hey, yeah, cool. Yeah, let's go out for Friday night, guys. And, let's go out to, I don't know, Applebee's. I don't know. Do they even exist? Something. Longhorn Jack Stacks. I don't know. TGI Fridays. But you go out, you have a nice affordable dinner. They treat you guys. It's a reward system. But as far as going out and going to like a Chick-fil-A or McDonald's in the morning for breakfast, and you're going for lunch, you spend $10 or $15, and then for dinner, you're stopping by, you don't have time to cook because the kids are all coming home and the husbands or the wife or what have you, and you're busy, and you go and you spend $45 eating out for the kids for the, every night. That has to stop. Like that is a huge wealth killer, and it's a huge way to stay in debt, right? Like I said, these big companies out here, they're managing their money by the dollar, right? These companies are making tons of money, and the moment that their profit margins don't hit, they're cutting people off, right? So you have to kind of manage your finances like a business. And again, it doesn't matter how little money you make. It all does come down to just how you start attacking your finances as of today. So, we all know that money is a very emotional thing. We know that it's something that is, we have a negative emotions to it and negative psychological hits to it. And, when we go and we take a look at what we're spending, how little money we have, we feel a certain type of way. And so we're kind of embarrassed and we don't want to be reminded of it. But I promise you, you face that beast head on, you will absolutely get out of debt and it will be quick. So yeah, that's what you guys do. If you take a look at the site also, this is a little spreadsheet that I did here. I put down, it's kind of like my steps, mentally prepare. Like this is 80, 90% of the battle. Like the money situation falls in line once you've decided that you've had it. All right. And then you got to ask yourself this question: am I living beyond my means? Meaning, uh, you know, am I making an adequate income relative to my area and I'm just not managing my stuff? Well, if I am, I need to cut back the food, the bills, the expenses, like my initial spreadsheet, cut that stuff back. If you're driving a $600, $700 luxurious car, it's ridiculous because you're probably paying a lot of money in gas. You have expensive car note. you're probably upside down on that. You got negative depreciation kicking you in the butt. You may or may not have a high interest rate. I mean, it's just an absolute wealth killer, and it's a good way to stay a slave to the system. Or do you just simply not make enough? And if that is the case, then you go back over here again, and then again the same rules apply. You just start cutting every single thing you can cut. You do the overtime, you hit it, you do the snet, you do the debt. What are we talking about here? You do the debt snowball. You hit the smallest items first. You take those payments, you add them to the next payment, and then you just start hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. Okay. And then again, you write down expenses, your income. If income is less than all the minimum expenses, time to downsize. You sell your items expensive in the home. If you're under debt and you're struggling to pay bills and you got a $2,000 MacBook Pro, something's wrong with you. You got to get that fixed. If you got a 60-inch television, or you got some really, really expensive toys, maybe it's time to look at letting those things go. I know it's an emotional aspect to it, but I mean, again, desperate times calls for desperate measures, or maybe you're just not working enough hours. Okay, and again, down here, as I already talked about, negotiate all your monthly expenses. This is something that you should absolutely do. And another thing that I didn't discuss that I know is an option, but I didn't discuss it because I don't recommend it for people who are really, really highly in debt or really struggling a lot because it's something that can actually get you into a lot more trouble if you don't already kind of know how to swim. And that's doing credit card balance transfers. Um, it's like anything else. If you know how to manage your money very well and you just kind of got some debt and you're looking to, you already kind of got most of this down packed and you just want to save money on interest, there are credit cards out there that will do a zero balance transfer. As a matter of fact, there is actually and again, and if I haven't already been clear, I'm not being paid or in any form or fashion. This is not an advertisement for American Express. This is just simply, I did a quick look up, and this is one of the cars that I saw that that was showing you, it was giving you a good introductory rate. So this MX card here, this gives you 0% introductory rate, balance transfers, and also no annual fee and 0% APR for 15 months. So let's say if you have two or three credit cards and you have $19,000 and you got a 24% interest rate, well, you can call up Amex. And again, this also applies with, assuming you have good to excellent credit, which if you're really, really tight, you may not have. But if you've been able to stay afloat, to where you keep your credit intact, give them a call. You can take these, you can transfer all your balances over and you literally can consolidate them and then you can start making payments with no interest for a year and a half. And then let's say, you still carry half the balance by then. Well, you know what? You paid off half the interest and you've been knocking off principal that much. I really only recommend that for people who actually are really, really already financially disciplined because, if you're not, doing a transfer can really, really hurt you. And then also, you do have some debt pay down calculators as well. This one's on bankrate.com. So here you can take you can list all of your loan types. You can put them in here, put in the lender's names, put in your interest rates and whatnot. And putting in, I'm just putting in one here. Just put in something, and then down here, what it will do is it will actually give you a breakdown of the minimum interest, minimum principal, and then where the best ways are you can apply additional principals based on which loans have the highest interest rates and so forth. So this really kind of helps you allocate your additional cash reserves more towards the credit card towards the credits or debt types that have the higher interest rates. But again, if you guys just stick to the if you just stick overall to the sheet two over here with this debt, with the debt, I call it the debt spreadsheet. You're gonna do very, very fine. And then if you all aren't familiar with it, Dave Ramsey, he has a site. He's a very, very sound financial millionaire gentleman. I've actually read his book. It's phenomenal. And he kind of gives the debt snowball method. And here, it just basically outlines what I've already told you guys. You do your debts, you do the total payoff, you do the minimums, and then you just kind of go through and then you just keep taking those minimum payments, applying them to the new payments until you paid it all off. It's a great way of doing it. I've done it. I know that it works. So you guys can absolutely do it. I just want to let you know it's not easy but it's not hard. It just requires focus and dedication. And This is the blueprint. This is how you do it. So if you guys apply these rules and you apply these tricks, there's absolutely no reason, depending on your financial situation, why you can't literally start hitting debt as of tomorrow. You'd probably even be surprised at maybe where some of your extra money is right now. Maybe a savings account somewhere or something that you don't even know about. That you could take this, put the money on it, and then start paying it down tomorrow. So. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't already done so already, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave some comments. If I left something out, please let me know. If I misspoken something, please let me know. If you guys have a better way that I've left out, please let me know. Please hit the subscribe button. As always, and guys, let me know what you'd like the next topics to be as well. If there's something you guys are curious to have discussed or looked up, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to put that onto the list and make a video about it. So thanks again. Talk to you later.